We have a baby, and so we're trying to find water for him for formula. It really doesn't matter for us. We're just trying to make sure he has what he needs.
Now, a new and unsettling twist in the story of all those Americans with contaminated water in their homes in West Virginia. Thousands have been told the tap water is once again safe. But tonight, a new warning: pregnant women should not drink it, raising the question, what's the truth about what's in the water?
With a chemical spill, it contaminated the water supply.
Major water emergency.
The chemical plant responsible for the leak, Freedom Industries,
Frustrated and frightened.
Virginia, whose drinking water is contaminated.
poisoning the water. That toxic chemical.
Please do not use any tap water.
Chemical spill.
Sweet type of smell.
A state of emergency.
State of emergency.
Chemical storage facility.
How dangerous is this chemical?
Water in West Virginia is still unusable.
And no idea just how much longer it'll take.
Just minutes ago, President Obama approved a disaster declaration for West Virginia.
West Virginia's in West Virginia.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
West Virginia. And West Virginia.
West Virginia.
West Virginia.
The West Virginia
Enforcement in the state is very much connected to the political power of coal in West Virginia.
So water is a prevalent feature in the state of West Virginia.
I was live on the air when the governor's first tweet went out basically announcing that this had happened.
So I was over at the Capitol, and I remember coming back and smelling something in the air, but not really thinking anything of it.
And it was on Twitter. I just checked briefly, and there was a proclamation from Governor Tomlin that said, do not use the water in Charleston.
Rivers are a huge component of the West Virginia landscape. Certainly some of its most remarkable places are its rivers. When we think about places like the New River or the Golly River or the Cranberry River.
Water is just so important and interesting, and it's time where here in West Virginia people are interested.
Well, in Charleston, I got a sense of uneasiness, to begin with, because most people understood that it was going to be a while before this really had any sort of conclusion.
The chemical spill in Charleston, but it was like opening up a Pandora's box of issues about water, not just in our state, but nationwide.
But the Elk River is a very clean river, one of the cleanest in the East, actually. And so you see how dependent then we have become as a state on our few really clean, productive water sources.
What I worry about genuinely, and one of the reasons that we are very hesitant to drink or cook with the water, is that we had a very powerful washing agent in 100-year-old pipes for days at a time.
If something like this would have happened in New York City, the entire world would have been paying attention to it. And they would have been hungry for every detail.
We didn't have water in our newsroom, so we were trucking in, bottled water where we could get it. We had people sleeping in their sleeping bags. People were working long shifts and staying up 24, 36 hours, 48 hours at a time to cover it.
No one was prepared for it, but also trying to fathom what it was like to be completely cut off, to not have an appropriate supply of drinking water.
And for me, it was really an education in the entire ecosystem of looking at water. What are the political implications? What are the, there are so many different groups who concern themselves with water. They don't all agree.
Even once the water was turned on, people didn't believe the water was safe. There are some who live in parts of those 9 counties in southern West Virginia who still don't believe their water is safe.
I don't know that I would say that even still we officially trust the water.
At this point, it's really just about detecting, is something different? Is something weird? Is the water unusually warm? Is it unusually conductive?
But I don't know that we'll ever trust the city water system in Charleston again.
When the crisis happened in Flint, Michigan, it was tragic, but it also confirmed for us what we were really seeing, even just trying to investigate issues of looking at water quality in this state.
It's not at the forefront of everyone's mind anymore, but I do think that it's in the back of everyone's mind. every day. And I think it's going to be in the back of everyone's mind for a long time.
Water is so important to this community, and because there have been some pretty big accidents and problems, and it was definitely top of mind when we chose to look at water and not soil or air or other things.
What we saw from that chemical spill is that when we don't have water, it creates a serious, serious situation, and not one that's just, oh, environmentalists care about it. Everybody cares about it. Citizens care about it. Businesses care about it. It's wildly important to us, and we see it when we realize it when it's gone.